Tonight we have a couple of board members who are not available, so I'll be taking the meeting this evening. But we'll call it open, our open session. And to start us off, the Pledge of Allegiance tonight will be Anthony Ruiz from Hillview High School. Oh, they moved the flags.
Everyone could please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And so tonight we do have 3 items to report out of closed session. During closed session, the board took action on the following personnel decision. A first by Kathy Copeland, a second by Allison Muniz-Demichelis. On a vote to 3-0, the board approves the paid administrative leave for employee 2025-2026-8, effective date March 18th, 2026. Also, during closed session, the board took action of the following personnel decision. By a first of Jonathan Stone, a second by Kathy Copeland. On a vote of 3-0, the board approves the paid administrative leave for employee 2025-26-9, effective date March 19th, 2026. And lastly, during closed session, the board took action of the following personnel decision. By a first of Allison Muniz-Demichelis and a second by Kathy Copeland. On a vote of 3-0, the board approves the paid administrative leave for employee 2025-26-19, effective date March 13th, 2026. All right, and we are now on to the Tustin Public Schools Foundation. And yes, I do have one. We're excited to welcome Tustin Public Schools Foundation President Kate Tustin, joined by the new Executive Director Young Park. Young brings to TPSF. We're going down there? No, you can. Okay. Young brings to TPSF more than 30 years in successful leadership roles in the U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fi, the private sector, and as an entrepreneur. He has been part of our Tustin community for the last 20 years and is a TUSD parent, with all 3 of his children having or currently attending TUSD schools. Yay! Same. Please join us in welcoming TPSF President Kate Tustin and Executive Director Young Park.
Well, good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Johnson, staff members, members of the community. It's really an honor for me to come in this capacity as the Executive Director at the Tustin Public Schools Foundation. You know, there's so much great work that's already been established, and the partnership between the district, the board, members of the community. I just hope that I can continue to enhance those opportunities for our students and our teachers in the community. And I also wanted to give a plug for our celebration of our teachers. We have the teacher recognition May 8th, so be sure to get your tickets online. It's a really good time. And Summer Academy, I'm sure a lot of you already participated in that, but we're working hard right now to get those classes established. We have some really cool new ideas and new swag coming out for that, so be sure to reserve your school seats. But thank you again for the opportunity to introduce myself, and I look forward to the partnership moving forward.
Thank you. We're excited to have you. Now we're on to board recognition. Hughes. All right, Hughes Middle School. In celebration of their recognition as a California Distinguished School. Yes. Hughes Middle School, their staff and students are celebrated for closing the achievement gap and delivering exceptional student performance. Hughes is part of a select group of only 42 recognized in Orange County by the state of California. And State Superintendent of Public Schools, Tony Thurman. In total, 408 middle and high schools across the state were celebrated. We are honored to celebrate the outstanding teachers, staff, administrators, and students at Hughes Middle School for this recognition. Congratulations. Next up, we have Legacy Magnet Academy. In celebration of the recognition as a California exemplary dual enrollment school, Legacy Magnet Academy is recognized for their outstanding dual enrollment program that provides students access to college-level coursework, strong support systems, and meaningful pathways to future success. Legacy is one of only 2 schools in Orange County to receive this distinction. We are honored to celebrate the exemplary teachers and staff at Legacy Magnet Academy for this recognition. I've got a few pages here. Forgive me, I only knew about a few hours ago that I'd be here. Next up, we have the following staff recognized for their achievement. We have Agnes Vasquez, principal of Arroyo Elementary School, and Alondra Diaz, dual immersion teacher on special assignment, Sycamore Magnet. In celebration of the recognition as top leader and top teacher of Orange County by Parenting OC. Parenting OC magazine celebrates teachers, employers, and leaders through their 13th annual Top Teachers and Employees School Heroes of Orange County. Honorees were selected from over 200 nominations based upon their inspiring leadership, creativity in teaching, passion for education, and contributions beyond their job descriptions. We are honored to celebrate top leader Agnes Vasquez and top teacher Alondra Diaz. Okay, and this one's kind of near and dear to our heart. Our student board members are next. The following students will be recognized for their achievement. Sophia Nuaz and Nina Wong from Beckman High School. Go. Leah Green and Connor Wybell from Foothill High School. Anthony Ruiz and Emily Juarez from Hillview High School. Carson Carter and Katalie Lynn from Legacy Magnet Academy. India Lowe and Sienna Prieto Harvey from Tustin High School. In appreciation of their hard work and valuable contributions while serving as student representatives to the TUSD Board of Education during the 25-26 school year. In addition to attending board meetings and relaying information, they highlighted school activities, programs, and accomplishments, celebrating the students, staff, and programs on their own campuses as well as across the district. And I wanted to just put a personal note in here just so that you know these guys come in every Wednesday before the board meeting and they go over their slides with Rena And we as board members have had a chance to get to know them and to answer their questions. And every time we've had a chance with them, I think my colleagues would agree with me, is that their questions are very insightful, they're thoughtful, and honestly, they're going to be our future leaders. So thankful for them and this generation that truly will really change the world, honestly. And so we thank them. We thank them for their service this year as student representatives to the board. And I think they would like to say something as well. Connor. Carson.
So we are also going to do a little recognition of our own this evening. So thank you so much to President Davis, members of the board, Superintendent Johnson for this recognition. And we would like to shout out the person who has ardently supported us this entire year. Well, Mrs. Lucchese, please come on up. I know we have a little bit of a problem because she's usually the one behind the camera, so maybe we can have perfect. Thank you. Throughout the year, you have gone above and beyond to teach us and guide us through this process. You far exceeded the bare minimum in order to push us to become better leaders. Everything from last-minute supportive phone calls to delicious brownies and endless patience when we were all going 50 different directions. It all made a difference for us in cultivating a positive learning opportunity every month. We would like to express our profound gratitude and wish you the best in the coming years. And we also have a few gifts for you as well, as like a token of our appreciation.
You guys are raising the bar high. Bring it the next one. Thank you. That is really sweet. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay, I'm thoroughly embarrassed and I'm going to sit down. So
Okay, we'll give everybody like a couple more seconds. Okay, we're now on to our superintendent's report. Dr. Mark Johnson.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Muniz-Demichelis, to esteemed members of the board, to staff, to our families and staff that are out in the audience tonight. First, just a giant thank you to our board and to our student board members who just got recognized and obviously have homework, so they're taking off. But that's one of the best programs that we have, and that our students get this insight into what the board actually does, and then has opportunities to present to the board and into the community. And so just thank you for that. To our schools that were recognized, to Hughes, to Legacy, to Agnes, and to Alondra, just congratulations to each of those folks and those schools for those ongoing recognitions. So excited. I'm so happy we got to meet Mr. Park tonight. He's going to be a great addition to the foundation. You can already see he's hitting the ground running. And then a very special thank you to Mrs. Muniz-Demichelis. She hinted at it, but at like noon today, she got a phone call and said, you have to run the meeting because Mr. Davis isn't able to make it. And so thank you, Mrs. Muniz-Demichelis, for that, okay? So with that, the arts are alive and well, and they are all over. We're going to begin with the arts, and we're going to close with the arts. But up this week, we have the Student Art Invitational, the pop-up gallery reception, which will be over here at the Community Center from 4:30 to 6 p.m. there will be hundreds of pieces of art from our students on display. And so we're very grateful to TACFA for running this program and for putting all the time and energy they put into to making our kids feel special and recognized. And from that, you will run over the exact same day for the Tustin 5th grade honors orchestra, which will be over at Orchard Hills the same night at 6 p.m. And then coming this Monday, we have our ongoing 5th grade honors choir, which will be at Pioneer Middle School at 6 p.m. And then I just want to give a giant thank you to Mr. Solons, to our entire facilities team. I'm putting the same pictures that I've put up in the past, but these projects are moving forward and it's coming very fast. And when we look at each other and say they start in 6 weeks, they start in 6 weeks. And so just a reminder, Measure J was passed in November of 2024 at a 66% rate. And that gave the district $260 million to spend on modernizing our oldest facilities. So this is just, once again, the new look at Arroyo Elementary, which we're excited to start. The new look over at Benjamin Beswick School. And then lastly, at Loma Vista. And just once again, a giant thank you to our community for supporting this work and these efforts. Moving on, we had a few celebrations. And so Tustin Ranch just celebrated its 30-year in existence, and a really cool shot of our staff members over there on the night that they celebrated. And so congratulations to Tustin Ranch. And then this Friday, hard to believe, but Heritage will be celebrating its 10th year anniversary of existence. And so really grateful to both of those schools as they hit those cornerstones or milestones within our community. And then lastly are the arts. And so those look like they may be the same picture, but they are two different pictures taken 1 week apart. On the left side, you have Beckman's Orchestra, which is playing at Carnegie Hall in New York. And kind of a cool little nuance, as Dr. Rafter was there with the school, he sees on the board at Carnegie Hall, Foothill Choir is on the list next week. And we have so many activities in Tustin, there's no way that they would know that they were both going. Like, that's not the way the world works. And so Donnie texts the principal over at Foothill, and he's like, "Is this you?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're going to Carnegie the following week." And so two, I just think, cornerstone, like, brilliant programs in Tustin Unified, both getting on a national stage to perform. I think this is a real highlight for things like the 5th grade honors choir that starts, right, when our kids are 11, and then they get to do things like this when they're 16, 17, and 18. And so just thank you to the board for supporting this work. Thank you to our teachers and our staff and administrators who support our kids getting experiences like this, because this is not normal. And we are absolutely excited and delighted that our kids get to do that. So that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. And now we are on to public comments. We have two this evening. First up, we have Valeria Meza. And if there is a minute more, if you want to get in your comment card to Alicia here to your left. She'll pass it to me. Dr. Lifkin, are we ready? Okay. All right, Ms. Meza.
Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, TUSD leadership, and parents. My name is Valeria Meza, and I am a community member and graduate student in social work, and I care deeply about students with individualized education programs, or IEPs. Through my work in the mental health field, and as someone with a sibling who has an IEP, I've seen disparities in the support that students receive. This includes situations where students have been sent home or disciplined instead of receiving the accommodations and supports they are entitled to. While IEPs are designed to support students, gaps in implementation and full access to services still exist. When accommodations are not consistently understood or followed, students can fall through the cracks. When we look at the data, this becomes even more important. TUSD has over 3,000 students receiving special education services, with the majority of these students spending most of their day in general education classrooms. This means that general education teachers are on the front lines of implementing these accommodations and supporting these students. Without adequate training and support, staff may unintentionally rely on punitive responses rather than interventions. As a result, students with IEPs may experience feelings of exclusion or being different from their peers, reinforcing the very challenges that schools are meant to address. I believe that there's a need for increased staff training, especially for general education teachers, on how to effectively implement IEP accommodations, as well as expanded access to school-based mental health services. Strengthening partnerships with community providers can also ensure students receive consistent and comprehensive support. By investing in training and mental health resources, we can create school environments where students with IEPs feel supported, included, and able to succeed. Thank you.
Next up, we have Lisa Hickman.
Good evening, members of the TUSD School Board, Cabinet, and guests. My name is Lisa Hickman. I'm the proud president of the Tustin Educators Association. I rise this evening to address the certificated personnel report being presented later, because these decisions are not just procedural. They directly impact on the educators who serve our students every single day. And the contrast tonight cannot be starker. On the same evening that raises for district leadership are being considered, we are also discussing the release of hundreds of educators, many who have already given years of service to the district, still without basic stability in return. Our members, who I speak with regularly, make life-altering decisions while holding on to the hope of earning even probationary status. They are delaying buying homes and putting off starting families just to continue serving TUSD students. This list includes 272 educators. That is 24% of your educator workforce. Over 100 of those names have given 3 to 5 years or more with no path to permanency. Many of these educators hold specialized credentialed in high-need areas, positions that are difficult to fill and critical to the district's success. Many could be transitioned to permanent with relative ease, especially in special education, transitional kindergarten, and other high-need fields. All year, we have discussed prioritizing those who have stayed and committed to this district. Yet tonight, not one long-serving educator has been moved onto the permanency. In this mix are special education teachers, TK teachers, counselors, and educators teaching your highest levels of math, science, arts programs, the very people who ensure this district continues to excel. What is your commitment to students when such large percentages of educators are placed on a release list year after year? What assurance can you offer this community when 32% of teachers at Legacy Magnet and 39% at Sycamore Magnet Academy are being released? At Foothill alone, 28.5% of educators are on this list, including 2/3 of your fine arts program and your performing arts departments, at a time when you are receiving Prop 28 ongoing and stable funding to support these programs. Also included are 35% of their English department, 1/3 of their world languages department, 45% of their science department, and 30% of their special education. At Nelson Elementary, 20.8% of staff are listed, including both of their 2 TK teachers and members of their SDC special education team. Every change to a classroom is a change to the district. Every educator removed is a disruption to students' instability. You cannot sustain excellence with constant turnover. If cuts must be made, they should begin at the top, not in the classroom. The classroom should be the last place we look, not the first. So the question remains, does TUSD truly value recruiting the best, and will you retain them? Our educators have chosen TUSD. It's time for TUSD to choose them. Thank you.
Next up, we have Nikita Ganatra.
Good evening. My name is Nikita Ganatra. I'm hopefully not a stranger to you guys. In the past few months, since I've learned of the adoption of the math curriculum, which is right here in my hands, this is just a sample that I received directly from Amplify so that I can review it at my own home and not be restricted to the district first attempting to tell me I only had select, 2 hours to complete the review during the hours, and then I was informed that the information was inaccurate. Now I have all the time that I need, but that means I still have to come out of my home to the district office to review. I'm speaking again to reiterate the multiple emails that I've already sent out. One directly to the entire board, letting them know specifically how terrible this particular adoption could be for the youngest of our students in building their foundational skills in mathematics. In addition to that, I've shared with you research. There's a book right here. It is called How Learning Happens. There's another one that just came out, Instructional Illusions. If you read this in quick 2 to 3 days, you will see exactly everything that we're about to adopt, spending the taxpayer dollars, which will be in the millions, to adopt a curriculum that will not support the language needs of the students that we need to serve the most. Those are 50% of your TUSD students who are not making the mark, and we are not accurately looking at, assessing, and reviewing what it is that's in front of us. Specifically, I want you to address the idea that you have teachers in the classroom who will be sort of exploring the curriculum with the students. Discovery learning, problem-based learning is not research certified. You have to take a look at this over and over again until you can find something that's going to be different. And I implore all of you board members to actually look at your inboxes so that at least there is a response that's sent to my email. I have engaged in a conversation to request any and all supporting documents. Dr. Villegas has been kind enough to provide me with a meeting, and in that meeting I also got a chance to meet with Ms. Wyman, who was part of the process and is at TOSA implementing this pilot. If you want to spend the next 10 years seeing the same types of results where the needle is not moving, then you will adopt Amplify. Otherwise, you will take the time to reevaluate and stop the process before it incurs a very tremendous cost on the students of TUSD. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That concludes our public comment section. We are now on to TUSD Bright Spots and one of my favorite subjects with Dr. Litvin and the robotics.
All right, 1 second. Good evening, Mrs. Muniz-Demiklis, members of the board, cabinet, and audience. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to share another TUSD Bright Spot. This evening's Bright Spot is intended to highlight the leadership and skills built throughout our district-wide STEM and robotics programs. We have some really amazing things happening in STEM, ranging from our exploration of coding and AI to our expansion of 3D printing and laser cutting. These outcomes set up amazing programs like OC Maker and our world-class robotics program. So to talk about those things, we have our robotics and STEM TOSA, Mrs. Megan Lund, here tonight. She's going to be helped out by both Gianna Kozak and our Heidemann Roadrunners at some point here today. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Lund for our presentation.
All right. Good evening. I am excited to be here tonight to share a little bit about the work that is happening. Across TUSD, our students walk into classrooms and CTE labs, robotic spaces, some for the first time, not knowing if they belong yet. But then something happens. They build something, they solve a complex problem. Maybe they see someone who looks like them achieving something that they once thought was out of reach. And in that moment, they start to see themselves differently. They're not just participants, they're leaders. And because when students are given the opportunity, the tools, and the access, anyone can lead. And tonight I want to share what that leadership looks like in action. I should have the mouse up here. Okay. Before we look at the data, I want you to hear directly from our students at Heidemann Elementary. This incredible group led by Victoria, didn't just join a robotics club. They actually had the vision to teach coding to TK and kindergarten and lead a community STEM night for their families. So I'm going to ask our 5 wonderful students from Heidemann to stand up to be recognized. Victoria, Dean, Jesus, Michael, and Rogelio. And our 2 outstanding coaches that are at Heidemann, Giamid is here tonight. So we are going to actually see their leadership in action.
People think coding is just for big kids, or grown-ups, or people who are really good at math. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. My name is Victoria Lopez, and I am in 5th grade at Heidemann Elementary. This is my first year in robotics, and it changed my life. We competed 3 times, and at our very first competition, we won the Judges Award. Our families were there cheering for us, and it felt amazing. At my school, many students speak more than one language and don't always get chances to explore coding. So we asked ourselves, what if we could change that starting in preschool? That's how our Girl Power Leadership project began. Little Coders on the Move, a weekly coding club where girls lead and our youngest learners become coders. Every week we met with our younger coders. At first, some kids were shy, but once the robots started moving, everything changed. They smiled, laughed, and asked to try again. We also shared our Girl Power Coding Club at the school-wide STEM night with Legacy Magnet Academy. Families, preschoolers, and older students code together and learn side by side. One of the most inspiring moments was meeting Shadir Barrios, a bilingual launch engineer from SpaceX. She shared her journey, and she looked like us and spoke like our families. Seeing her made us believe we could do big things too. We know our project worked because the kids still run up to us every day and ask when we're coming back. If preschoolers can code, if students our age can lead, then robotics and engineering are for everyone. That's what Girl Power Leadership means to me.
When Victoria says that robotics changed my life, or I met an engineer who looked and sounded like me, those aren't just powerful moments, they're turning points. Leadership for students begins when the students believe they belong in the future that they are building. What you saw in that video is happening at scale across TUSD. And you got to see the little Indy cars from Sphero. And in support with Julie Young and Monica Wyman, the Sphero Indy cars have been rolled out to our youngest learners, where they're learning cause and effect navigation, computational thinking, all through the TK Foundations and collaborative play. You guys can sit down, thank you. As students get bigger, the tools also get bigger and grow. And across the district, when students create something that didn't exist before, they are taking their leadership into their own hands. So across the district, we have 140 plus 3D printers, and we have over 7,000 modeling hours completed in Onshape, one of the platforms that we use. And in SolidWorks, we have 26 students who've passed the certification this year. So over 1,100 students are learning how to use these tools and this software. That same ownership continues with our laser cutting and engraving equipment. It's currently at 7 secondary sites and will be at 10 next school year. This is where students are designing using the Adobe Creative Suite and producing real-world projects. They see their ideas come to life with precision and purpose. They're not just completing assignments, they're creating products, they're telling stories, and they're building the skills that will take them into their future. And then we take it a step further, and the OC Maker Challenge, the students are solving real-world problems using these skills. Last year, our teams took home 13 of the awards in nearly every category from the Orange County Department of Ed, and the projects are due for this year at the end of this month. So we're very excited to see what the students create and how they help to improve the world around them. I'm really proud to be a part of TUSD because I truly believe that the whole idea is that creation's not a privilege for just a few. It's the district standard to provide access and support to all, and access really is the key to developing leaders. One of the ways that happened this year is in the TUSD Hour of Code and AI initiative. In the month of December, during the celebration, we had 68,000 sessions. And what's really cool is even since then, since January, an additional 24,000 sessions on that website. This tells us something really important. Students aren't just participating, they're choosing to continue learning. With the support of Julie Young and Derek Johnson, Snorkel AI is another point of access for our students, and 593 teachers are actively using Snorkel, and that is resulting in over 200,000 student responses where AI acts as a collaborator to refine student thinking. And then we're also really excited to partner with the ELOP team and Lori Jimenez, where next year we are going to bring robotics access to over 1,000 students in TUSD. The robotics umbrella is growing and it is expanding to provide more students access through the IndyCars and VexIQ to 400 additional students that would not otherwise have the opportunity. Robotics is where you really see all of this come together. This is where students are taking what they've learned. They learn to design, code, problem solve, and they're applying it as a team. But more importantly, this is where they lead. Students are managing projects, they're running tournaments, making decisions, mentoring younger teams, and supporting one another through challenges. They're not waiting to be told that they're leaders, they're becoming leaders through their experience. They're teaching each other, they're building together, and they're solving problems. In doing so, they're building confidence not just in what they can do, but in who they can become. And I think the thing that I'm most proud of in this work is how much ownership our students take of what they're creating. We truly have built a program here that doesn't just outpace others in the country, it delivers consistent results year after year. To highlight a few of those results, we had our teams compete 431 times this year. We had 8 tournaments hosted and 6 student-led workshops. That would not be possible without our student leaders taking on nearly every volunteer role, our amazing IT staff, and the support, of course, of Tustin Public Schools Foundation. This year was awesome. We had 31 teams qualify to the California State Championship, and the first time that all of our secondary sites were there together. So you can see we've crammed as many kids as we could in one picture. And starting next week, 13 teams are heading to St. Louis to compete in the World Championship. The hardest year yet, and we're very proud of those 13 teams advancing. I am thrilled to close tonight's presentation by introducing a standout leader in our robotics program, Beckman Jr., Gianna Kozak. Gianna's journey in TUSD STEM spans nearly a decade, which is a true testament to what happens when students are given the opportunity to grow year after year. This year, I saw her confidently lead a room full of adult volunteers as the head judge. She trained them through a rigorous process and evaluation, and it was just nothing short of incredible. So please join me in welcoming Gianna.
Thank you guys so much for the warm welcome. As Mrs. Lund said, my name is Gianna Kozak, and I am a rising senior at Arnold O. Beckman High School. I've been in Vex Robotics for 8 years now, but Mrs. Lund met me when I was this shy little fourth grader. If you guys saw me today, I would be sprinting right out that door right now. I definitely would not be up here. A leader was never something I would define myself as, but through robotics, you're put into so many different time constraints, hard decisions, that it forces you to become a leader. I went from merely resetting fields to becoming the leader of my team at World Championships, from just being a participant at tournaments to, like Mrs. Lund said, becoming a head judge or a mentorship figure for younger students. And this has led me to learn that leadership is never about the title. It's about taking initiative when others aren't willing to. So even in my Beckman community, as I'm a junior, almost a senior now, I've begun leading our underclassmen, making sure they refine not just their technical skills, but also their leadership skills so that our program thrives for more ages. And now, as I'm recognized at many tournaments, not just with students coming up saying hi to me, but really trusting me, it's finally hit me that, yes, I did grow in this program, but now I've truly become someone that others can grow from. And robotics has taught me so many crucial skills, from how to design a chassis to CADing, but not just these technical skills, the leadership skills that I will carry with me forever, not just in high school, but onto college, where I plan on majoring in mechanical engineering. So really, this is a thank you to everybody here in this room, from the board to the parents, to supporting this amazing program that doesn't just build technical skills, it builds leaders. Leaders who are filled with passion, creativity, and aren't scared to take initiative in these large rooms. And I can say with full confidence that TUSD Robotics has become my place to grow and thrive, and now I'm able to become that person for others around me. Thank you guys once again so much.
So what you've heard tonight is the result of years of intentional access and support. When students are given the chance to explore and take ownership, they grow into leaders, not because they were given a title, but because they were given a chance. So thank you for giving the students a chance year after year. I am so proud to be a part of Tustin Unified.
Thank you, Mrs. Lund. Incredible work. For those of you who don't know at home, TUSD Robotics is like no other. I have just, this year actually, I went to another competition of many school districts in the Inland Empire. And although it was great, it was nowhere near the level of coding and work that we do. So incredible work. And I think that our student from Beckman High School is one of many. You should know that she is incredible, but she is one of many. And so we're incredibly proud. And thank you, Mrs. Lund, for continuing to go. I will disagree with you. Not only continuing, we are growing that program every single year. And it's just such a highlight for us in Tustin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to the bulk of this. If some of your Heidemann students need to leave, that's fine. So I don't want you to have to stay here late on a school night. Do they want to get a picture? Does Heidemann like to? Yeah, would you like to get a picture, Mrs. Lund? Yes. Maybe we should include our Beckman student too. Yeah. Yep. Yep. She is. You sure everybody else wants to stay for the resolution parts? All right, here we are. We're on to the discussion action items, and we're on to Part A, Resolution Number 04-07-26, authorizing replacement of LVT flooring at Peters Canyon and Tustin Ranch Elementary Schools and Beckman and High School schools to include installation of moisture barrier. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we can call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. We're on to Resolution B, Resolution Number 4-08-26, Celebration of TUSD Staff Appreciation. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you to our TUSD staff. I'll just add that. Part C, Resolution Number 4-09-26, authorizing the summer maintenance project for gymnasium floor replacement at Orchard Hills School. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
On to D, Resolution Number 97-1-119 of the Board of Education of the Tustin Unified School District, acting as a legislative body of Community Facilities District Number 97-1 of the Tustin Unified School District, authorizing the issuance of Community Facilities District Number 97-1 of the Tustin Unified School District 2026 special tax refunding bonds and approving a fiscal agent agreement, bond purchase agreement, preliminary official statement, and certain related documents and actions in connection therewith. And just for the public's knowledge, that is to ensure that we can potentially refinance a bond to saving our taxpayers' money. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I'll second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Now we're on to Part E, Board Policy 5131.8, Mobile Communications Devices, revision. Do I have a motion to, I'll call for a motion to adopt.
I'll second that motion to adopt.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. On to Board Policy 5145.13, Response to Immigration Enforcement, revision. I call.
F.
Skipped one. F.
There's a lot this evening, so we are going to move up to F. Is it F? Yes. Board Policy 5144.1, Suspension and Expulsion, Due Process Revision. I call for an adoption. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we're on to G. Board Policy 5145.13, Response to Immigration Enforcement, revision. I'll call for an adoption. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On to H, Director of Fiscal Services, revised job description. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I, Manager of Personnel Services, revised salary placement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On to J, Manager of Business Services, revised salary placement. I move to approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, tentative agreement with the Tustin Educators Association, TEA, wages and H&W. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And just for H&W, health and wellness. And I will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. L, tentative agreement with the Classified Supervisorial Management Association on Article 4, hours.
Move to adopt.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. M, tentative agreement with the Classified Supervisorial Management Association, CSMA, salary and allowances, and H&W, health and wellness. I move to approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
N, tentative agreement with the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and its chapter number 450, wages and health and wellness.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Wow. And yet there's more. Oh, tentative agreement with the California School Employees Association and its Tustin chapter number 450 on Article 5, hours of employment.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. P, tentative agreement for the confidential management and executive cabinet wages and health and wellness.
I'll move for adoption.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Q, memorandum of understanding between the Tustin Educators Association, TEA, and the Tustin Unified School District. Induction. I move to approve.
So second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
R, memorandum of understanding between Tustin Unified School District and the California School Employees Association and its chapter number 450, extending work calendar, campus supervisor.
Move to adopt.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we are on to the consent calendar. For those of you students, this is one approval for many items, generally ones that we usually approve. But if you are a student from, let's say, Beckman High School and you need to travel to that world competition, your approval would be potentially in this consent calendar. So for our students here. So do I have a motion to approve the entire consent calendar?
I move to approve the entire consent calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Good job, Allison.
That moves us to, here we go, pupil personnel. And we are on to student number 2025-26-7. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to adopt.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That leads us to board member comments.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for those of you who stuck around. I hope everyone had a wonderful spring break. It was a little quieter than usual, but hopefully everyone enjoyed their time off. School tours are back up and running, and again, that's one of the highlights of my week, when I get to see the wonderful things going on at Tustin. This last week, I visited Foothill, where my kids went, and it's just fun to see how much it's grown and continues to improve daily. They're doing wonderful work over there, so that was really fun. I want to congratulate, he's gone, but Young Park. Welcome aboard to Tustin Public School Foundation. It's an amazing organization. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, please look them up. They raise a lot of money for our schools, and it gets distributed to teachers, grants, and they sponsor and put on the Teacher of the Year event, and they do a lot for our community, and it's been a pleasure working with them as a board member. I used to do stuff with them prior to this, but this is, they do an exceptional job. So welcome aboard to Mr. Park. Student board members aren't here, but I just want to tell them, if some of them perhaps are listening at home, just that I think their future is so bright, and what a pleasure to work with them. Just these bright, engaging youth that are so excited for their futures, and it just makes me feel very secure about our future as in humanity, and that you've got kids like that graduating from our schools. It's just beyond impressive, and I hope they stay in touch. I want to hear all the great things that they do, and so best of luck to all of them. I think that is it. It's just we're diving right into, we got the schedule today for graduations, and I can't believe that's around the corner. So looking forward to attending all the graduations and seeing all the continued success stories here at TUSD. And that's all.
You know, every once in a while, someone will ask me or make a comment about how we conduct these meetings, and we ran through 20 or so items that we adopted, and it's a little bit like an iceberg. And I think maybe if you're from a different district or used to fireworks or 4-hour meetings or whatnot, the board's adoption of whether it's an action item or a memorandum or the endorsement of a negotiation reflects just one step in processes that take hundreds or thousands of hours of diligent work and review done by this staff, leadership in our unions, and many people working on behalf of the district to make this whole thing go. And so I want to thank all of you who are involved in all of that work, and assure the general public who may only see this part of a school district's workings that there is in fact a tremendous amount of work that goes into what we cover in 10 seconds in taking a voice vote for something that was adopted. And so Mr. Solons, your team in terms of all of our financial actions, thank you very much. And we took an action item tonight on something that's going to save thousands of dollars for taxpayers and potentially curtail the number of payments they need to make. Wonderful. And that we've come to some agreements with our stakeholders, and our unions represents hundreds of hours of excellent work on both sides of that table to come to an agreement that we can all live with, because everyone in that room has first and foremost the interest of our students at heart. And thank you all for that work. And that's it. That's my comment.
Thank you. I have a little bit of a serious one tonight, so it's kind of my health and safety. When I worked as an engineer, we used to have a health and safety minute every week, and sometimes it seemed kind of silly, but kind of was good, actually. It was things like just cleaning up water sometimes on a slippery floor, as much as making sure that, you were safe on a ladder. But this week, I had a very close family member of mine was riding a bicycle, not an e-bike, not a motorcycle, and had a very tragic accident affecting my family very much, in fact, and we are still quite in it. So I'm going to ask, I drop my daughter at high school every day, most days, and I see our students riding e-bikes and regular bikes with helmets on, but they're not actually strapped underneath their neck. And so I'm going to ask you, if you're a student and you ride an e-bike or a scooter or anything that moves with two wheels, please put on a helmet and put it on correctly, because truthfully, it really will. It could save your life. And but also, as parents are looking at their kids and going, hey, you didn't really wear your helmet, I'm going to tell you also, actually I see more parents without helmets on. And so I live in a neighborhood kind of close to Pepper Tree Park. And so with the summer concerts and the movies, I will tell you, every single summer I see kids with all their helmets on, but I don't see the parents with helmets on. And my family member is 45 years old and absolutely should have been wearing his helmet. And so I'm going to ask you this summer and this spring to please put on your helmets, because it really, even though maybe you don't look that cool for like a whole hour, it will really be worth it. And so I'm going to ask you that. And so, and not to end on a negative note, so please, I hope that you hear that. But I wanted to end on a positive note, which ties into our TUSD robotics. I wanted to, every week we get kind of an update district-wide of things, and I wanted to read you something about the snorkel pilot. It was in the TUSD robotics presentation, but it was just a quick minute or two from Ms. Lund, and so I think this was so cool. I read this a few weeks ago, but I thought I would highlight this. Snorkel requires, so it's a program that we're using, it's AI generated. Snorkel requires students to record their voices, and use a digital whiteboard to explain their reasoning. This provides teachers with immediate insight into a student's logic, identifying the exact moment a misconception occurs without requiring a one-on-one sit-down for every child. By using AI to provide instant rubric-aligned feedback, Snorkel eliminates grading delays, allowing students to iterate and improve their work in real time. This is particularly impactful for English learners and students with writing challenges, as it provides a verbal pathway to demonstrate high-level conceptual understanding. How cool is that? Like, it's 2026. I mean, this is amazing. And so, so I wanted to end with that because when I read that, it's still kind of really cool. Anyways, with that said, onward to graduation and the end of the school year, and wear your helmets. Thank you. And so tonight, is there an motion to approve adjourning the meeting?
So moved.
All right, all in favor?